Hey guys, Sean Studios back again. It's Alex.
Justin the Orange Dream.
It's me, Noah.
And we are here with your Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor 8 review. This show took place this past Mania weekend. Very good show. Some are considering this one of the better shows from Mania weekend. So we'll just hop right into it with the first match, which is Cedric Alexander versus Roderick Strong. Very fun opener. Good way to start the show, I thought. Crowd was really into this match. They were pretty hot behind Cedric Alexander. I thought Cedric really shined here, showed that he has the potential to be a top guy going forward in Ring of Honor in the future, and just really held his own against Roderick.
Yeah, that's what I got from it, is that they're showing Cedric's not quite there yet, but he's getting there. I think they could have had Cedric win. I mean, they're going to have more matches, though, but they could have had him steal a pin or something and continue the feud that way, but I think what they did worked for this.
And I think the reason they didn't have him go over here was because they're having a rematch at the Toronto show, which is a night pay-per-view, and they want to give, their idea is maybe like giving Cedric Alexander a big win on a bigger stage, which, a live pay-per-view with the New Japan guys, that's going to come off as a bigger moment, I think, even though this is WrestleMania weekend.
But yeah, this was good for the opener because it was very fast-paced, hard-hitting, good match.
Yep.
I agree with most of what you guys said. I think that, like you said, Cedric could have won this match. I don't think it should matter that they're going to be on pay-per-view, honestly. I mean, if the timing's right, do it. But this worked anyway. This is something that they can extend. I didn't love the placement of this match on the card. I felt like it could have been more. It was built up as more on television, and but it turned into a very good opener. As an opener, great stuff. I think that it could have been better. I know that you mentioned that they may have held back because they have more they're going to have more matches, but still, I think that it could have been better.
One thing I will say is I think one of the reasons this worked as the opener was because it led right into the next match, which is another decade match, which I kind of like that idea.
You could have done the other way around, even.
Yeah, that's true. But like, I always like that idea of like a stable having like one match or another. That way they can cut a nice little promo like to build it to the match. It's a nice little touch, especially with the decade, because like their whole thing is like, oh, we're the top guys in ROH, like and like it's like they have that nice little back and forth with Cedric, kick him out of the ring and stuff like that. I thought it was a nice little touch. I give this 2.5. Or not 2.5, 3.5. Wow.
I was gonna say, man, you really didn't think it was that good.
No.
Yeah, I go 3.5.
I'm gonna go 3.25.
Okay. Then we had Jimmy Jacobs cut a nice little promo, basically just putting over the decade, and I always like when he just keeps like when he kicks like Cedric out of the ring, he's like, get out of my ring, and just he comes off as a great asshole heel. Jimmy Jacobs does.
Yeah.
This led into the match with the decade. Jimmy Jacobs, BJ Wimmer, and Adam Page taking on ACH, Tadarius Thomas, and Andrew Everett. This was a really good match. A lot of fast-paced action in this match. I thought everything just really clicked in this match. I like this idea of I liked what they were doing with Adam Page, like where like he tried to kind of still be like the squeaky clean babyface wrestler in the ring, and like they're like, no, be more aggressive, like this, do it like this, And I like that a lot. I thought it was a nice little touch they threw in the match. And also I got to add, Andrew Everett is a fucking just psychopath when it comes to taking bumps, because he was doing some crazy shit in this match.
Yeah, he's nuts.
Yeah, I like this match. The second match is the dreaded spot in the card, but they kept the show flowing with this match for sure. Spotty, but that really works. I've actually been enjoying the Decades matches in general, because they've been going for kind of a clash of like the styles, like the old veteran style. Plus they have Adam Page, who you said. They're trying to kind of teach a different style, which works really well against kind of the young high flyers a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, this had a lot of good spots and stuff. It was entertaining. It's about what you would hope for.
I have to agree with everything you guys said. I did like the dynamic with Adam Page. I liked how Page looked. The way he worked was different than what the face team was doing, because they all were young guys too.
Yeah.
But those guys are doing all the flashy, high-flying moves, where Page was a guy like looking at his team like, okay, not only does he want to impress, but he wants to learn.
Yeah.
And he even did basic stuff. I think he can do more than that, but he was very basic.
He kept it kind of like old school.
Yeah, I like that. Hopefully, we'll start to see more developments from what is with the phones today, motherfuckers.
Mine went off earlier.
But I like how they're kind of building him up. Hopefully, we see some actual advancement. But yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I give this 3.5 as well.
I went 3, but I really liked it.
I gave it 3 also.
Oh, okay. I overrated, I guess. Whoops.
Shocker.
It's subjective.
Yeah, and then we had probably what I think was probably the worst match of the night, which was Silas Young taking on R.D. Evans with the streak on the line, which
the new streak.
The new streak on the line, yeah, which I thought was a very this is a very funny thing, and like the crowd is really getting into
getting
it.
over pretty well.
Yeah, it is.
Which I actually want to ask you, like, out of curiosity, like, how would you end the streak, like the new streak?
You got to put over a heel somehow, like cheating, and just make it like this big, like, oh, like.
Yeah.
I use it as a way to get someone else heat, but because you could keep RD as like a.
I don't know. Think of like a way to introduce like a new guy they signed or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but you could. I think you could, since it's getting over like in a face way, like ending it would be like a major deal.
Maybe have him face like a champion, like maybe take on like the television champion.
Yeah, you could do a number of things.
Okay, I was curious if you guys had any
I
ideas.
hope that it surpasses Goldberg's streak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, well anyway, the match began. It was very typical wrestling, nothing really special. I do love Silas Young, and I kind of like the idea of him like basically manhandling R.D. Evans, who's, let's face it, not the best wrestler.
Wasn't Silas's whole thing like he's not a real wrestler?
Yeah,
shit.
He's
like,
a comedy guy, you know.
Yeah.
And like Silas was like, it's like, why am I wasting my time with this guy? So he's just beating the hell out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was pretty fun. It didn't really get going until like the last like 5 minutes or so when like the crowd really got into it.
Yeah.
And the crowd was super hot for the finish, which made the ending of the match come off really well.
Yeah, for me the crowd made the match. I thought it went on a little too long and the wrestling wasn't too great, but I think the crowd made it a lot of fun to watch, and the whole gimmick of this streak actually is making his matches more entertaining because it's like you're somewhat invested in him winning now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I liked it, but it was definitely the worst match on the show.
Yeah, I would say it was the worst match on the show also. But I mean, from a purely wrestling standpoint, if you guys saw these in any other indie and you saw this match, it'd be fun. It'd be a nice match.
Yeah.
But to me in ROH, it came off almost like a comedy match with no comedy. You know?
I can see that, yeah.
And I feel like that's one of R.D. Evans' problems, is that he should be the comedy character even when he's having a match, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Silas looked down on him as not a real wrestler, but R.D. got in a lot of offense in this match. And I don't know, I just didn't like that R.D. came across so much as a regular wrestler.
Right.
I mean, that spot on the apron, that was way over the top.
This should have almost been like kind of like when they had the mixed martial arts versus Darkness Crabtree, like where it's like clearly one guy is like a wrestler and one guy is like absolutely not a wrestler. You know, it just has been like a domination.
And I think that they could have done more with the comedy.
I think so.
Comedy is a spot, especially on ROH's serious ROH's cards, and they need that.
And especially after like 2 really high octane, fast paced matches, like a comedy match would not have been a bad thing on the card.
Didn't that Darkness Crabtree match go on for allegedly like a day, like 24 hours? Was that the match that went on for like 24 hours? I don't remember. There's some Chikara match that went on for like a day.
No, I don't know.
Anyway, moving onwards.
Anyway, but yeah, the finish came when Silas Young got disqualified, which they had like him get a pinfall within the ref, and the original ref disqualified him for attacking him. So the crowd totally was into it. So that's what made it.
I thought the finish was about to not work until they reversed. I mean, it ended up working.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I thought the finish was the funniest part of the match.
Yeah. And again, it just the crowd really didn't help that finish come across, because if they had been booing it, it's like it would have been like, well, that failed, but like they wanted the streak to continue. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I give this 2.5. I think.
I agree, 2.5.
I give it 2.25.
Okay. Next up, we had a no disqualification match between Michael Bennett and Mark Briscoe. This was actually a really fun match between these two guys. They started off really fast paced, just brawling over the arena. I thought Mark doing that like dive. Like in the crowd, like over that railing, was pretty crazy. And I thought they did some good stuff in this match. Just pretty straightforward. They didn't go super violent, which I liked, because obviously you have the ladder war in this show. You want to keep things kind of, I don't want to say tamed, but like don't go super crazy to leave room for the main event to deliver. But yeah, I enjoyed this match for the most part. Anything to add?
Well, a lot of times when they go out brawling in the crowd, it's just kind of like a lazy type thing, and I usually hate that.
Yeah.
But this I actually thought was good and enhanced the match, because they actually kind of took it seriously, and it looked like an actual brawl, and they actually did some stuff on the outside, which was cool. I don't know. I think these guys had pretty decent I was actually kind of impressed with Bennett's brawling ability, which you don't see a lot of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this worked. I didn't think it was great, but it was a nice change of pace on the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, this worked. I wasn't a fan of the stipulation just because Ladder War was at the end.
Yeah, I
of the
agree.
night, you know, but it worked. You know, like you said, they didn't go all out, but Bennett looked good, and for two guys that you don't expect much from,
Yeah.
I'd say that they definitely delivered.
Yeah.
So,
I ended up giving this 3.
Yeah, 3.
yep.
Okay. I want to talk about they had a segment with Truth Martini and Matt Taven, which was supposed to be a match, but nothing happened. Those segments just came off really goofy and just did not work out well. I guess the idea was supposed to be that Truth threw like a fireball in Taven's face twice because like he attacked him in the ring, and then they had a backstage segment. Both of them came off very just gimmicky and very dumb and did not work. And yeah, the less said about them, the better.
Yeah, it was awkward.
Yeah, really badly. And then we ended up Matt Hardy cutting a promo to the kickoff comeback from intermission, and it was fine. I think Matt Hardy did a good job of like doing the basic Matt Hardy shit. You know, he just went way too long.
Yeah, he just rambled on and on and on, and nobody cared. And
Yeah,
he was still like. Sometimes I like to think like he just is a heel.
yeah.
But he really believes some of the stuff that he says.
Yeah, that's one thing which I liked when he was with Steve Carino. Like, you know, sometimes less is more, and Steve Carino knows how to give just enough, but not too much.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to heel stuff.
I felt like, you know, I was sitting there at the end of it like, all right, that's enough. Like, let's do it. Let's go. That's enough. He just kept talking.
Yeah. All right, and then we had a 3-way tag team match for a number 1 contender shot for the ROH tag team titles at the New York New Japan ROH show, which is reDRagon taking on for Hooligans and Hanson and Rowan. This was a very fun match, actually. I really enjoyed it. I thought all 3 teams worked very well together. Hanson and Rowan really impressed me as a tag team. They are
Rowan?
Rowe.
Rowe, whatever.
Raymond Rowe.
Yeah, I Raymond Rowe. Sorry, whatever. You know what I'm fucking talking about.
Yeah, you can't talk. I know.
Yeah. Anyway, this is fun. Both those guys are really good. I see like almost a little bit of bad intentions with them. Just like 2 muscular, huge dudes that just like throw their weight around and everything. And also just the agility of those 2 guys really helps. Like I love Hanson doing that like cartwheel lariat. That's really cool.
Yeah, a lot of times, actually the bad intentions isn't a bad comparison, because you kind of got the bigger athletic guys, and actually Rowe and Hanson are about
the same size.
The right size.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, especially Hanson for his size is extremely athletic and very impressive.
I would say he's the better of the 2.
I like him. I think he's got more potential.
I think so.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But yeah, this match worked really well. They kept the pacing pretty consistent throughout. They made everyone look good. You had three different teams. There was a lot of matches where you had guys who were kind of differing styles, but it worked out pretty well. This one got really exciting at the end.
Yeah, it picked up really nicely.
Sequence.
Wasn't a crazy fan of just how like it just kind of ended like that. I felt like, but it did have a nice finishing stretch that picked up enough, and the fans got into it, so it worked. But it could have been a lot better. I think it just kind of came off like.
And I gotta tell you, man, I still love Bobby Fish. He's so funny.
He is so like he's like Kevin Steen in a lot of ways. Like he is constantly like talking to his managers and just adds a little extra.
Yeah, he is.
And I love at the begining when they call for the code of honor. He's like, oh yeah, I love this part.
Yeah,
this is my favorite part.
Yeah, the sarcasm is what I was about to say. Yeah.
Oh, and then like what do you yell at like Alex Kozlov like, come on, Russian, follow the rules or something, just like something. He is so funny when he they should like bump up the audio just to have him be able to hear more.
I wish more guys were like that.
Oh yeah,
I think RD needs to be more like that.
I think so too. Yeah. What you end up giving this?
3 1/4.
Same here.
Me too.
All right.
Me and Alex have been agreeing almost.
High five.
Except for the first match.
Yeah.
But since then we've been agreeing pretty much.
And then we had the first title match of the night, which was the 2 out of 3 falls match for the ROH World Television title between Tommaso Ciampa and Jay Lethal. Love the video package hyping this match up and playing, and they really did a nice job of like building this up as like a grudge match based on their past feud they had back in 2011 or 2012.
2012.
Yeah. And one thing I really loved was Ciampa taking up the knee brace and handing it to him during the Code of Honor.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was a really nice thing. And these 2 guys really worked well together. I think they have some great chemistry. I can only think of like one time there was a botch that would win him. Ciampa tried to do a backstabber when Lethal went for the lethal combination, just came off really clunky.
Yeah, but Nigel totally saved that segment when he was talking on commentary, because when he hit it, you know, Ciampa played like, oh, he was hurt too a little bit, and Nigel had said something to the effect of, you know, if you look at that, if you don't hit these moves perfectly, you can hurt yourself too. Yeah. You know, and that, I love little things like that. Yeah. You know, an announcer can save a botch.
Yeah, and he actually did that later on in another match too. But yeah, they worked well together. I like them stealing each other's finishers. That was a nice touch.
Yeah, Lethal crushed him with it.
Yeah,
that was impressive.
Lethal hit a great Project Ciampa. Yeah, that was nice. So this match is going along very nicely. Lethal got one fall, and then they're going on to the finish, and the referee gets knocked out. And then Truth Martini comes out and hands the knee brace to Lethal, and he uses it against Ciampa. And Ciampa, you know, does the fighting spirit, kicks out at like one, and just super kicks the hell out of him and finally puts him down for 2 falls in a row. I was very surprised by that. You don't really see that very often. And Lethal joins the House of Truth and wins the title. 2 things I did not expect to see happen on this show.
No. I didn't really like that either. I didn't like Lethal. I didn't like Ciampa's reign ending so quickly after he destroyed, especially if he
I agree with that part.
And I didn't like them finishing in 2 falls either. The way they did it didn't necessarily make Ciampa look weak, but the fact that he lost in 2 falls is still kind of, you know, it doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good. Yeah. Think back to it.
Watching it, it's not so bad. But then hearing about it, like, oh, we lost in 2 straight falls, you know, that kind of thing. But it was a really exciting match. They had some really great false finishes toward the end.
They did
too. So it was a good match. I didn't think it was as good as it could have been.
Yeah, it fell short. I think it fell short of the original 2 out of 3 falls match they had back when Ciampa got hurt.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything to add?
You know, I pretty much agree with what Justin said. It was very good, but I didn't like the finish that much, honestly, just because I didn't think that Lethal needed to win. It did help his heel turn.
Yeah.
But like you said, Ciampa, he should have held the belt longer.
I think so. And now I do maybe think they're going to like play up the idea that like Lethal is like Ciampa's biggest opponent because like he hasn't been able to beat him ever cleanly. So maybe they're going to like, you know, hype up, maybe have a big rematch. But yeah, I do agree that Lethal should not have won the belt at this point, especially with Ciampa. Like Ciampa was doing a lot for that belt.
Yeah.
Although I do like heel Lethal because I do think that I think the guy has a natural like heel edge to him, like kind of like, you know, when he has that whole thing of like he can do the Macho Man and the Flair thing, and I think that like that machismo comes off better as a heel with him.
Yeah, because when he cuts face promos, it seems very wrestling, very 80s almost.
Yeah.
But when he cuts it as a heel, it's almost like he's doing it ironically, you know, so it comes off very good. I like it better.
Even in the video package, they had a really nice promo, like him talking about wanting to win the belt back because, like, I had you beat twice in a row, or whatever. And there, you know, and it's like I thought it was like, wow, that's a pretty good heel promo right there. So and also I talked about it earlier. It was like I don't think Jay's ever going to get over and be a top face in the company, especially with guys like Elgin, Steen, and all these other guys around. So I think with him being a top heel, his potential to go to the top is a lot higher.
Right, and I think that, I mean, you said something about the TV title that Ciampa did a lot for it, and I agree that he was, but this actually doesn't hurt the title at all.
No,
because Lethal, he was willing to turn heel and go against his own morals or whatever to win this belt. So it must mean something.
Okay.
Plus Lethal has a lot of prestige. He's a former TV champion, big name.
Yeah, that's true too. So all in all, not the worst decision in the world, but certainly could have been better, I think.
Yeah.
I give this match 3.5.
I go 3.25.
3.25 as well.
Okay. And then we had the match of the night, which was Kevin Steen versus Michael Elgin. The winner getting an IWGP World Heavyweight Title match at War of the Worlds in New York against the champion, which is probably going to be Okada. This match, you know, you want to talk about a fast start to a match. These guys, you know, they kicked into high gear right from the get-go, and they did not fucking slow down all goddamn match. I have never seen Kevin Steen wrestle a more aggressive physical match in his life. Like, even with Generica, like, he had a methodical pace to his matches, but this one, he was going all goddamn match.
Yeah, you could almost sense the hatred going on. These guys acted like they hated each other.
Yeah.
This was great.
This was awesome.
Great stuff.
This was just exciting. They just all, move after move after move, and like it all made sense. It was just like the idea, like they're just throwing everything they can at each other to beat them. They want this title shot. They want the chance to be the champion. So like it made a lot of sense. Great chemistry. These guys work excellent together, and I really love this match, and just everything they did in this match was great.
Everything looked legit in this match too. They traded there's a lot of power moves, but like you got the sense these guys were really trying to hurt the other one. It seemed like they didn't. Either one didn't necessarily have much of a strategy. They were just in there. It's like, I want to win this match. I'm going to hurt this guy.
It was almost like a boxing match where like they're just like, I'm just going to throw my haymaker.
Exactly.
Right
Yeah, they throw their biggest, most powerful moves at each other.
And it kind of makes sense given that both guys are such these huge stars, and these guys have been in grueling matches before. It makes sense for them to just go for the knockout right away.
Right.
And you're talking about Nigel covering for a slip up in the last match. This is happening too, where like Steen like slipped out of Elgin's powerbomb position or whatever, and Nigel covered like, oh well, you sweat during the match, you slip out of a move or whatever. So it worked, and I don't think it hurt it, but I loved Elgin using the package power driver to finish off Steen. That was a very nice touch.
Yeah.
And just brutal match all the way through. I mean, this actually had a very Japanese feel to it. We're just like hard hitting action all match.
And I like how we're talking about the pacing. They went for. I wouldn't say like a super fast pace, but they didn't have like a lot of times these kind of matches, especially between like two bigger guys, will have like flurries and then lots of time where they're not doing much. These guys went for a more consistent pace where they were pretty regularly doing big moves. And selling them, but not really, just laying around.
There's no rest holds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And we talk. I mean, both guys had an amazing match, and Elgin looked fantastic. But we talk a lot about how strong Michael Elgin is.
He is freakishly strong.
It's insane, and this was a great indication of that in this match. But not only that, but to be able to do the moves that took as much strength as they did at the point in the match.
No kidding, man.
That's amazing. A triple powerbomb at the end of a match with Steen at the end of that match.
Yeah, like
that's amazing.
They went like 20 minutes, and like he's trying to do that at the
No shit. Batista can't do one without getting gassed.
Yeah. Michael Elgin is on like a whole other level of like just physical condition in wrestling.
Yeah,
like,
amazing.
I think the only guy that comes close to his like physical status is Claudio.
And you could, Claudio might be stronger, but we'll see. I'd like to see a contest between those two where they just try to slam the Big Show, do crazier moves to the Big Show between the other.
This was easily the match of the night, and actually I'd probably say maybe like the third best match of the entire WrestleMania weekend I've seen. I haven't seen New Japan yet, so maybe there's one of those.
There's two matches that are better.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So maybe, but like certainly like in the top 5 matches of WrestleMania weekend, and
one of the top ROH matches of the year.
This is a match that could have main evented anywhere in the world.
Absolutely,
that's how good it was.
It was great. 4 1/4.
4 1/4.
Let's make that 3 for 3. Yeah.
All right.
Very, very good.
Yep. And also like Steen at the end of the match, basically just acknowledging Michael Elgin, like, hey, whoever the champion is that faces you in New York, they're gonna have to kill you because you're the fucking man, basically. So really nice of Steen to put Elgin over like that huge, and how awesome would it be if Elgin won that belt at New York?
I'm just hoping for an amazing match.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that Elgin's going to go to New Japan after this, though. He's going to New Japan.
I don't think immediately.
I think he's going to win the title.
I think he's going to beat Cole. Yeah.
He's going to New Japan though. Eventually.
Yeah, to defend it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Rematch of the century, him versus Okada for the ROH title. There you go.
Title versus title.
Okay, then we had the main event, Ladder War 5, Adam Cole versus Jay Briscoe for the unified ROH world title.
The real world champion versus the ROH champion.
Holy shit, these guys killed themselves. This was nasty.
This was brutal, man.
Yeah. This was actually kind of like, I feel bad for Nigel having to sit through this, man, because you could tell that guy was uncomfortable watching this match.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Oh, yeah. Jay and Adam basically just went out there and was like, we're just going to beat the fucking shit out of each other, and like, they did. Basically, story of the match was Jay Briscoe wanted to kill Adam Cole, and he almost did, probably. I mean, they were sabooing the fuck out of each other, which is basically just chucking those chairs. Jay Briscoe got busted open hard by a ladder, and
early.
Yeah, and he was bleeding badly.
Got a high elevation throw to the outside through some ladders.
Yeah, just
like not even like it's got
Yeah.
so much height on it. And just,
Yeah, these guys just beat the hell out of each other, basically.
yeah. Cole took like 3 J drillers, was it?
I think so, yeah.
It was 2 or 3, but
I think 3.
several.
Yeah. Which I thought was weird because I thought that the power driver was illegal in Louisiana, but maybe that one doesn't count, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe that was a storyline. I don't know.
It was Gabe Gators and new storylines.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I like this. I thought there was way too much interference toward the end, and it just went on too long. I wouldn't have minded if it came in at the very end. They would have finished that way, but it went on for at least like 5 minutes, I thought.
Yeah, then he beat him. I don't want to say beat him off, but
You are.
Threw him off the
Go
line.
ahead. He beat him off.
He beat him off.
He beat him
and
off.
they just kept coming.
Fended them off.
That sounds really bad.
Yeah.
But
Jay Briscoe beat men off.
beat them off and then just keep coming.
Beat him up with both
Yeah, they
hands.
must have liked it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like he would, son of a bitch. He would beat him up, throw him out, and then they'd come back. Like,
Yeah.
I think like it just needs to be one and done.
Yeah.
You know.
Just in and out. No, I didn't like how Cole took all these J drillers and he still was able to get really he should have been like dead from that much or just not able to move. Like 3 J drillers, he still was able to get it back up relatively quickly and finish the match. And then it kind of ended like they'd kind of both taken, I don't know about equal amounts of punishment, but the way it ended didn't really feel like Adam was cheating that much.
Yeah, I really didn't like the ending because like he just knocks Jay off. Jay like lands on his feet almost and starts scurrying back up the ladder. And Adam
Cole just
so
beats him in the
like
middle.
it was kind of like came off like Adam just got lucky and barely survived Jay Briscoe.
I see what they were going for. Like
Yeah,
because Jay made a point. Like I'm not here to. I mean, yeah, he wants to win the belt, but he wasn't there to do that. He was there to kick the shit out of Adam Cole.
Yeah,
There was even a point when he could have won and he came back down
he's
and
kind of
Jay
laddered
drilled
in.
him
And I
on the
like
ladder.
that too.
Yeah, I like
thought
that.
that was cool. So I knew what they were going for. They wanted it to look like Jay really didn't lose.
Didn't lose like he Cole didn't beat him. Jay kind of cost himself the match almost in a way.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it came off really flat.
Yeah, really flat.
So yeah, that hurt the finish. So the whole finishing sequence was.
Yeah, but the match was good though. Like I do enjoy like what they were trying to tell in the match, which is just like Adam Cole was trying to survive the match with Jay Briscoe. Like that's what it was, and I thought it worked really well in the match. And like they were very physical in the match, and it was a damn good match. I'd probably put up there like probably like not the worst ladder war of all time, but like certainly like in like maybe the top 3. You know, I don't know. I don't remember watching that many of them, or like I don't remember them off the top of my head. What'd you give this match? I went 4. Okay. Since no one's gonna fucking answer, I went 4.
I'm going 3.5.
I'm also going 3.5.
Wow. Okay. I guess I really like this match more than anyone else did. What do you have for overall of this show?
This is a tough one to rate because everything was pretty good. Even the worst match was I still enjoyed it. So I pretty much enjoyed every match on the show. So for that, even without a true match of the year contender, Elgin versus, but I feel Elgin versus Steen was good enough that that's kind of like worth going out of your way to see match.
Yeah.
So I'm going 8.5.
Okay.
I really liked it.
For me, I agree. I thought it flowed really well. I think that they had that one superb match. But I didn't think I liked it as quite as much as you did, so I'm going to give it an 8.
I'm gonna go 8.25, right in the middle. Everything I rated every match except for one over 3 stars, and that's in my opinion that's a show that you definitely need to go out and see. And just really enjoyable show from top to bottom. It had a nice flow to it, and just everything worked that they were trying to do. So, all right, and we have one more WrestleMania weekend show coming up, Invasion Attack. Whenever we get to that,
Was there 2 nights of that?
No, just one.
Okay.
But, there's house shows with those count. All right, but we'll come back with that later, guys. Take care. See ya.